Hey everybody, welcome back. Tony from Shinsho Yoga, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about the chakras and what they are. Recently I had a student ask me about it, a private student I was working with. A studio I was at was doing a whole workshop on them, and he sat down and said, well, what are they? And I said, well, maybe a good idea to make a video about that. So you really have to understand the chakras, and it's pronounced chakra. And often people will say chakra, but proper Sanskrit pronunciation is chakra. You have to look at Eastern medicine, right? Across Eastern medicine, there's going to be some similarities in what these are. There's going to be in Chinese medicine and in Japanese medicine, there's going to be some similarities in them. So some of the things I may go back and forth explaining them. They are all part of this Eastern style of medicine. But what they basically are power centers throughout your body. And when I'm saying power centers, I don't mean a power center of, well, you access that and all of a sudden you're, a Superman or something like that. They're areas that energy flows through. They're kind of gates in your body that energy will be controlled for certain things, right? That go through your body. And in Indian medicine and Ayurveda and yoga, there's 7 chakras, right? You have your sacral chakra, which is at the root of the tailbone. The color for that is red. And it's also, if you're familiar with Kundalini explanations or Kundalini yoga, things like that, that's where the Kundalini, the sleeping serpent at the base of the spine, is housed. That is the sacral chakra. You have the navel chakra right about here in your body. That's color of orange. That rules across different disciplines. That is the ruling center of the body across many. In Chinese medicine, this area is known as the lower dantian, and in Japanese, it's known as the hara, right? And this section right here is where the majority of power of the body comes out from. In Ayurvedic and yoga, it's not so much focused on there, but there is a large focus on this area of where the navel chakra is, where the center of power from the body comes from. And in most martial arts, especially Japanese martial arts, all your movements come from hara, which is, again, Chinese lower dantian, and in Ayurvedic medicine, the navel chakra. Sometimes you may, just as kind of a disclaimer here, if you do some research on chakras, you may find some differing information. They may refer to the solar plexus as the navel chakra, but the information I found consistently somewhat says that this is navel and then solar plexus, right? And this here is yellow, right? From here you have the heart chakra, color of green. From here the throat chakra, color of blue. Third eye chakra, color violet. And then crown chakra, which goes color purple. And they have sounds associated with them. Sacral, the sound is lam. For the navel, the sound is vam. For the heart, for solar plexus, the sound is ram. Heart, yam. Throat, ham. Third eye, sham. Crown, om. Now, om is also interchangeable here, right? There are different times they'll be done, but if you're going through soundings of the chakras through the body, this is the way you're going to go. Lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, sham, om. And again, there is some differing information out there about it, but the general consensus that I found are these are the sounds, these are the colors, these are the way they're laid out. So what are they then? Right? In all Eastern medicine is based on energy. It's all energy medicine. In Sanskrit, they call it prana. In Chinese, they call it qi. In Japanese, they call it ki. It is the energy that moves throughout your body, right? And that energy moves through what's called the fascia. right? That is a muscle system that is just under the layer of skin. It actually wraps around all of your organs and your viscera throughout your whole body, and it's like a giant rubber band, right? It's very elastic. If it's been maintained properly, right, it should be able to expand and contract, right? In yoga, one of the things we do is we manipulate the fascia. In acupuncture, they manipulate the fascia. In a style of massage therapy called Rolfing, they manipulate the fascia. Right? And this is where the energy moves throughout your whole body. But these power centers in your body, the chakras, are the control points, right? The areas where they, for lack of a better term, will originate and return to, depending on what power is going through your body, whether it's, say, it's sacral or third eye or heart. So like the throat chakra rules communication, right? So if you have trouble communicating, often the throat chakra can be blocked, right? If you have emotional issues, right, heartaches, your heart chakra can be blocked, right? That's what these are. They're gates. They're energetic gates throughout the body that rule certain aspects of the body and how the energy flows through the body. And what we want with the chakras is we want them to be clear and open, right? So you want the energy to flow through them without an issue, right? You want your body to be able to control the flow, working all together, mind, body, spirit together, to be able to control the flow as you need through the body. So when people talk about aligning chakras, they're talking about having them all working together, all clean, all being able to process properly. So how do you align the chakras? How do they get misaligned? Well, again, this is all based off energy medicine. Let's, to give an example, use heart chakra, right? If you have had a major heartache in your life, maybe you had the death of a loved one. For me, when I lost my father, that did a lot of damage for me emotionally to my heart. He and I were very close. He was a best friend for me the majority of my life. I've always, because of that, have had to work with my heart chakra, right? Because emotionally it was damaged. Right? Maybe you grew up, let's talk about throat chakra. Maybe you grew up in an environment, right? Maybe you had an oppressive environment. Maybe you have an overbearing parent when you were young who suppressed you from speaking, right? Or maybe in your family, there was a large group in your family and you never got a chance to talk. Or maybe you grew up with speech issues, and in school, because of that, you were always suppressed to talk and communicate because of those issues, right? And then you would really need to work with clearing the throat chakra, because over time, for the lack of a better term, it gets dirty. Right? There are meditations, one of them that I do, that is designed to clear these chakras. Right? One of the simplest ways to clear chakras is just a standard, traditional, disciplined meditative practice, right, on a regular basis. My practice is Zazen, Zen Buddhism. Things like guided meditations to help clear them can help that out. That's, like I said, I know one that I do, but that doesn't prevent it from happening again. In order to prevent the chakras from getting clogged up and dirty, you need to be able to allow the energy to flow freely through the body, and without blocking it yourself. It's really a combination of outside energies that will affect it, and then how you process it, right? Heart chakra becomes damaged because the pain that comes in, you are unable to process, and you'll end up holding on or blocking or stopping, and we actually do it all to ourselves. Doesn't mean the outside influence doesn't hurt us, but it's how we process it. So that's where your practice of yoga is going to come in. Not only a disciplined, formal meditative practice, but the practice of yoga, the moving with the breath, the following of the breath. As I talk about in all of the videos, and anyone that's been to my class knows, the focus is the breath. moving with the breath. The breath moves the energy throughout the body. Yoga manipulates the fascia, right? It gets energy flowing again. One of the reasons why you feel so good at the end of your yoga practice is not just purely physical. It's not that endorphin rush, although that is part of it from a vigorous practice, but it's that reopening of the gates in the body to allow the energy to flow. So a mindful yoga practice, focusing on the breath, moving with the breath, a consistent yoga practice will help you to get the energy flowing through the body. And just like a river, right, the more that energy flows, the more it cleanses things. Right? So it's just a little down and dirty quick on what the chakras are. I could go on and on about that for an extended period of time, but this is YouTube. And videos need to be short. So I'm sure in the future I will discuss more. If you want to leave a comment about it, about what your experiences are, feel free to do so. But thanks for tuning in. Namaste.